Carmela, you know that Châteauneuf-du-Pape refers to the popes?
What?
I know, but what does that have to do with the wine, you ask?
I want to know.
A lot.
Tell me.
But well, you got to listen to find out. But also, we tried 2 Châteauneuf-du-Pape wines, one from Costco's Kirkland brand and one from another brand. And what did we think about the Costco one?
I think it's standing up to the Lazaret.
That's right. But we're not going to tell you the whole thing now.
No.
You got to listen
Right.
to find out. Hello, fellow wine fanatics, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair.
Woo!
If you're new to our podcast, here's what we do. Every week we buy wines under $25 with our own money, taste them, and give you our brutally honest opinion on whether they're worth buying. Nobody pays us to review specific wines. We don't accept free bottles from wineries, and we're not afraid to call out a bad wine when we taste one. And Decanter Magazine calls us fun, irreverent,
Chatty,
and entertaining. So if that sounds like your vibe, welcome to our tribe of wine fanatics.
Love it.
Okay, I made that one up.
Oh,
You don't
I
love
love
it.
it.
So, okay.
No, I love it.
Thanks. Carmela, it's been a while since the two of us have recorded an episode.
That's true.
Although you in listening land will not know it, may not know it. It's been about 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm excited to get back at it. And today we are joined by the newest member of our wine podcast crew and family, our 16-week-old Yorkie puppy named Mabel.
That's right. And she's really good at this.
She's good at this. And
She's really good at ad-libbing, too.
Super
She
good.
doesn't need a script.
No. And if you hear whining in the background, people, it's entirely likely that it's Mabel and not Carmela.
I was just going to say, it could be me. Actually, I mean, Joe edits all that out.
That's
so.
true. All your whining, I
Right,
cut it out.
right.
Okay, Carmela, we're going to do a wine today that we have actually covered before in an episode a little more than a year ago called Châteauneuf-du-Pape.
Nice.
But we're revisiting it again for a couple of really important reasons. And the first is that people really love this wine, and it's considered one of the highest regarded red wines in the whole wide world. So some
there's
people,
that.
yeah, people are kind of nuts about it. The second is that Châteauneuf-du-Pape has a really cool history, which we covered a little bit in the previous episode that we covered Châteauneuf-du-Pape in, and that it has this crazy connection to a second papacy that was in France rather than Rome, so hold tight because we're going to spend more time on that fascinating history in a couple of minutes. But the third reason is that we're doing a Costco Kirkland Signature brand wine challenge.
Yes.
And these are episodes that our listeners love because we see if the Kirkland brand wine is worth buying, and we see how it compares to another Châteauneuf-du-Pape.
I mean, that's
other
so
wine.
cool.
Yeah.
Come on, Costco.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and the wines aren't as cheap as the Costco version, and so we see how do they stand up.
Okay.
Now, Châteauneuf-du-Pape, although we've done it in the past, it's really not the kind of wine that we would normally do in our podcast because it's almost impossible to find for under $25. So when Costco comes out with a Kirkland Signature version of a wine like Châteauneuf-du-Pape or Barolo or Brunello or Gigondas, like we did a couple of weeks ago, or Napa Cabs, we kind of have to cover it.
Yeah, I love that.
It's kind of a requirement.
I do love that. I mean, Costco is working for us.
They are working for us.
They're making things accessible. They always do.
I fully agree.
I'm not sponsored by Costco.
No, we are not. We are just appreciative of what Costco does for us.
Right.
So we do have these two wines, one from Costco and one from another label that we're going to cover in a bit more depth in a bit. But let's dig a little deeper into the fascinating history of this wine. What do you say, Carmela?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the history of Châteauneuf-du-Pape is fundamentally tied to the Avignon papacy, a period in the 14th century when the head of the Roman Catholic Church moved from Rome to France.
Okay, how come?
Well, and it's such a good question.
Cheese?
And it's, yes, cheese.
Bread?
No, you can only guess why.
Wine.
No, it's not actually because of wine, but wine does play a part. But that's something I think a lot of people don't know about, that the papacy for a while was not in Rome.
No, that's amazing.
So-
He knew what was right, though.
Who knows? Even today,
No, but I'm saying
I don't even know what's right.
No, what I'm saying is that the papacy figured it out, like where Okay, I'm biased, but where they really should be.
Well, there's more of a story to it than that, Carmela. It's really, you're kind of like, I think that's wishful thinking, but here's the facts.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
The story begins in the early 1300s when Pope Boniface VIII and King Philip IV of France were having a bit of a spat over who had more power. And in these kinds of cases, Carmela, it usually comes down to money. And that's the way it was in this case, too. King Philip, he wanted to tax the clergy in France to help pay for his wars. And Pope Boniface was like, you don't have the right to do that. And he believed that even kings had to bow down to the Pope.
Of course.
So the King of France did not like that.
Oh.
So things got ugly in 1303 when French agents and the Pope's Italian enemies stormed Pope Boniface's home, captured him, and held him in prison for several days.
Wow.
Now, he was freed, but he did die about a month later.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All the stress.
All the stress. Exactly.
I mean,
I'd be stressed out. Kidnapped, all that stuff. So a few years later, and yes, I said a few years, the cardinals elected Clement V. He was a French guy. He had been the Archbishop of Bordeaux, so I guess he knew something about wine. And King Philip, this shouldn't be a surprise, supported Clement's candidacy. Because, I don't know if it is today, but at the time, election of popes was very political.
Right.
Clement was the name of our dentist.
I know,
but
I was just about to go, wait.
I know. Pope Clement decided to remain outside of Italy, which is kind of a big deal because the Pope is also the Bishop of Rome, in addition to being the head of the Catholic Church. But Clement never established himself in Rome and eventually moved the whole papal court to Avignon in 1309.
Wow.
In a bid to be closer to the French royalty and their power and their protection.
And they just wanted a little cheese, a little bit.
No. I bet
France
you're
has great cheese.
They do, but I bet you're asking yourself, what the does this have to do with Châteauneuf-du-Pape?
I mean, kind of.
Well, here's something, and we'll get more into it, but Avignon just happens to be in the Rhone Valley, not far from where Châteauneuf-du-Pape is made, so hang on to that tidbit, and we'll get back to it in a second. But anyway, the move of the papacy from Rome to Avignon may have started out to look kind of like a temporary thing, but it actually lasted for 70 years.
Oh, wow.
70 years.
Okay, that's a lifetime.
Back then, several lifetimes.
Right.
In fact, it's such a good segue, Carmela, because 7 popes ruled Avignon during that 70 years.
No.
And every darn one of them was French.
Well, gosh, it doesn't sound like they were living well.
They weren't healthy.
Right. That's kind of insane.
Yeah. But not surprisingly, this made a lot of people think the papacy had become a tool for the French monarchy. And the papal court in Avignon also gained a reputation for wealth and luxury and aggressive fundraising. Things you don't normally associate with church-going people.
No.
But this was...
fundraising.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I don't think they mean fundraising like raising money for charity. I think it was like taxes to build like really nice churches and stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, they collected taxes and fees from churches across Europe. And during this period, the popes built the enormous Palace of the Pope, which still stands in Avignon today.
Nice. We could go visit it then.
Definitely.
Okay.
In fact, if anybody has, let us know. In 1377, Pope Gregory the 11th, you can probably hear Mabel in the background, finally brought the papal court back to Rome. But that didn't solve the problem, Carmela. It actually created a bigger mess because Pope Gregory died the next year. These guys are just not healthy. They're either being killed or they're just not
France
healthy.
is just not good for them.
He was back in Rome.
Oh, by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, maybe France was not good for him, and then when he got back, it was just mort.
But, so Gregory died, and the cardinals elected a new pope in Rome, but a group of mostly French cardinals rejected that election, and they claimed that they had voted under pressure, and they elected a second pope.
Oh, my.
There were 2 popes.
Has ever happened before? Or ever since?
I don't know the full history, but I think it's unusual. So you had one pope in Rome, another one in Avignon, and Europe was kind of split between them, and different kingdoms supported different popes. And because apparently 2 popes wasn't enough, there was at one point 3 people that claimed to be the pope.
What?
It was
the real pope please stand up?
Yeah. This crisis was known as the Western Schism, and it lasted almost 40 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Another lifetime.
Yep. And it finally ended in 1417 when the Council of Constance elected Martin V. I'm sure it was Martin or something, wasn't Martin. He was the Pope, and he reunited the Western Church under one Pope in Rome. But again, your question is, Carmela, what the does this have to do with Châteauneuf-du-Pape?
I mean, really, what the F?
Exactly. So to figure that out, we need to go back to John the 22nd, who was the Pope who came right after Clement. And remember that Clement was
It's not our dentist.
No, not Clemenza. He's the Pope that was the first Avignon Pope. This Pope John is the next one, and he was a big supporter of the wines near Avignon. He bought the wines for the papal court, he served them to guests, and he helped spread their reputation. He's also the guy that started the construction of the Palace of the Popes in Châteauneuf, and the local wine became known as the Pope's wine, and centuries later, the village officially took the name of Châteauneuf-du-Pape, which literally means the Pope's new castle.
Oh.
So that's what it has to do.
I get it. Thank you. That was really a long story.
But it was a good story.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it.
Popes dying, lots of lifetimes, I guess.
Right, money.
Yep, exactly. But you know what? Even today, Carmela, the papal legacy is still part of the wine. Many Châteauneuf-du-Pape producers use a distinctive bottle, which if you've seen the wine, you know, it'll have an emblem embossed in the glass. It usually shows a papal tiara above crossed keys of St. Peter, who was considered the first pope. And the bottle itself was created in 1937. So this wasn't something that the popes at the, during Avignon papacy were drinking out of. But, the same wine.
Right.
So that's it. The crazy history of Châteauneuf-du-Pape.
Crazy.
Okay. But you know what, Carmela? We're not here to talk about popes and papal castles.
But I think we are.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll do it. But we really want to talk about Châteauneuf-du-Pape, and we have, again, 2 Châteauneuf-du-Pape wines to drink, including one from Costco's Kirkland Signature brand, and we're going to find out how it stacks up to a more standard bottle of Châteauneuf-du-Pape and see if it's worth picking up on your next Costco run, or as we call them, dates.
Our favorite time of the month.
Well, that sounded really weird.
Well, don't you think we go like once a month? And it's a date. You get a hot dog.
So much stuff going on in my head now. Anyway.
I'm trying to watch this dog, okay, people?
I know,
I'm a little distracted.
She's more distracted than usual. But
we're in the middle of house training, okay?
And she's not doing awesome. We love her. She's about 3.5 pounds. She was doing great
until like 2 days ago. She put her foot down. She was like, I'm
gonna pee. And I'll say she's about 3.5 pounds, and every day she pees about 3.5 pounds in the house.
She's ruining our rug.
Exactly.
Our carpet or rug. No, it's a rug. Now look.
But first,
you got to do our shameless plugs.
Thank you for listening to us and supporting our show. And we buy all the wine we taste and review every week so that we can give you a real and honest reviews. So if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a 5-star rating and review so we can grow listeners. We also love to hear from you, and we always respond. So you can follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky and TikTok at The Wine Pair Podcast. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. Sign up for our email newsletter there, and just send us a note at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com and just shoot the breeze. We just want to know how you're doing.
Right, keep them company a little bit.
If you got a new dog, Châteauneuf-du-Pape, whatever, popes, if you're the Pope, reach out.
Wow. If you lived during that time.
Let us,
if you've been to France.
If you've seen the Palace of the Popes, let us know.
Yeah, true.
And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should recommend the Wine Pair Podcast to, because the best way for us to grow listeners is when you tell your family and friends about us. And this week, we want you to recommend us to anyone who loves Châteauneuf-du-Pape but doesn't love the price tag, because this may be the episode for them.
Awesome.
I love hearing little squeaks and stuff. I hope you guys can hear that stuff.
I love the fact that we may not have a rug any longer.
Yeah, she's totally eating the carpet. Okay, Carmela, let's find out just what the Châteauneuf-du-Pape is, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, Carmela is so distracted. Okay, since we've done an episode on Châteauneuf-du-Pape in the not so distant past, and we just did this is going to be amazing, and we just did an episode on Gigondas, which is a very similar wine from a very similar region. It's made from the same core GSM or Grenache Syrah Mourvèdre grapes. We're not going to spend a ton of time on it. I did, however, want to review a couple of fun facts to put into your brain box that you can impress your nerdy friends with at your next nerdy dinner party, because I'm sure you have nerdy dinner parties like we do.
We do?
We just know a lot of nerds.
Oh, we do?
We're related to a lot of nerds.
Okay, true. Okay. I guess I will agree with that.
Okay. Châteauneuf-du-Pape became the very first official wine appellation or AOC in France in 1936, and it was done to protect the region from fraud.
Oh, wow.
There you go. The landscape around Châteauneuf-du-Pape is very challenging for grapevines, which, as we often say, is good for making great wine grapes. The top layer of the soil consists of smooth, rounded stones called galets roules. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it translates to rolled pebbles. So not only do these stones help to create water stress, they also act as natural radiators. They absorb the heat of the sun during the day, and they keep the vines warm at night. And that concentrates the fruit.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, interesting, the rules around Châteauneuf-du-Pape blends are actually pretty permissive, especially compared to other regions, because some are really strict. And I was surprised by this. So officially, the appellation permits 13 different grape varieties in the wine.
Wow.
Now, red wines are dominated usually by Grenache, but winemakers can legally blend any combination of the varieties that they choose. The classic blend is, as I mentioned, GSM, Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, but there's not even a requirement about how to blend or even to blend. So some wines are like 100% Grenache, and other wines, like a famous wine called Château de Beaucastel, blend all 13 grapes.
That's insane.
So they can do whatever they want.
It seems kind of excessive.
It's a free-for-all.
Can you imagine? I mean, then does every time you make that wine, you have to have all 13 grapes?
Well, they can choose to do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want.
Wow.
It's called
Free
freedom,
reign.
Carmel. It's called liberty.
Okay.
Okay. One thing Châteauneuf-du-Pape is strict about is low harvest yields, which they do to keep the quality of the grapes as high as possible. And in fact, they allow half of what Bordeaux allows in terms of yield. So take that, Bordeaux.
Whoa.
Châteauneuf-du-Pape red wines are known for being bold and rich, but another thing they're noted for is an aroma wine dorks call garrigue,
Oh.
but normal people just call herbs, specifically thyme, rosemary, sage, and lavender.
Oh.
So we'll see if we smell or taste
Right.
any of that today. But garrigue is a good wine nerd term, if
To
you
know.
want. Yeah, exactly.
A little vocab for you.
Yeah. Now, Carmela, remember we talked about the wine bottle?
Yes.
Well, that heavy wine bottle that's used in Châteauneuf-du-Pape and famously embossed with the tiara or crown and the crossed keys of St. Peter, and it often says Châteauneuf-du-Pape Contrôlé or whatever, written in Gothic letters, by law, only registered producers within the official appellation are allowed to use this specific embossed glass.
Okay.
So that's how you know if it's official.
Right. Okay. Good to know.
Yep. And one odd fun fact, Carmela, there is a strange local law that was passed in 1954 in which the local authorities do not allow flying saucers to fly or land in Châteauneuf-du-Pape airspace.
Okay, wait a minute. If somebody's seeing flying saucers,
It's a real law.
I'm going.
It's a real law, and it's on the books today.
That's ridiculous.
Well, they're trying to protect the
weird.
vineyards.
I mean, you really have to put that in law.
Well, they felt like it was important to protect the vineyards.
There's a threat,
There's a threat.
a risk.
There's a risk of it flying saucers.
Okay.
It's real. It's
Can
not
we get that here?
nice. Sometimes I wish we had them here.
Hmm.
But Carmela, I think that's enough information. I think it's time to learn a little bit more about the wines that we are drinking today. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay, usually the wines we select for our podcast are under $25 each, but quite honestly, it is nearly impossible to find a Châteauneuf-du-Pape outside of this Costco Kirkland Signature wine for under about $35.
Okay.
So we have one that's under $25 and one that is over that price. Maybe they average out.
Sure.
Maybe they average out. But typically a Châteauneuf-du-Pape is not hard to find if you go to a good wine shop or a store with a very good wine selection. Look, you ain't going to find these wines at 7-Eleven, all right? Unless I guess it's a 7-Eleven in France, maybe.
Right.
But you may find them at a high-end grocery store. And as usual, go to your local wine shop and ask them to help, and they will be happy to. And if you haven't had a Châteauneuf-du-Pape before, this really is a wine that needs to be on your wine list. As we mentioned before, it is considered one of the great wines of the world. So, you know what? Splurge. Or go to Costco. How about that?
Right. We'll tell you if you should anyway.
Exactly. Now, I should also mention that before we get to the tasting, these bigger red wines are not always our cup of tea. So just keep that in mind when we're doing the tasting.
Right.
If we rate something super high or we don't rate it super high, that may not mean anything to you, or it may just mean like whatever they say, I say the opposite.
Right. Then you might be delighted.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Exactly. So just keep that in mind. And the other thing is, I'll mention this again, but both of these wines are pretty young. So I actually opened up these wines before we started recording so they could get a little air. because this is a bigger wine and it needs some time
Sure.
it needs some exposure. The first wine we're going to taste and review today is the 2024 Costco Kirkland Signature Châteauneuf-du-Pape. And like some Costco wines, there's actually some information we can get about this wine from the wine label, which is always cool. Sometimes it's hard to find out who makes Costco wines, and sometimes they put it right on the label, so that's helpful. In this case, the wine is made by Guillaume Gonnet, who is a third-generation winemaker from Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Previous vintages of this wine were made by Domaine de Nally, but that changed in 2018 when they switched to Gonnet. Gonnet's grandfather, Étienne Gonnet, founded Domaine Font des Michel in Châteauneuf-du-Pape in 1950. His father, Michel, and Uncle Jean took over in the 1970s, and so Guillaume grew up in the family business. And before coming back to Châteauneuf-du-Pape, he worked harvests and made wine in places like Bordeaux, Burgundy, Napa, New Zealand, and Australia. And today, he and his Australian wife, Kelly, so I guess that trip to Australia was pretty good, they make wines under the Guillaume Gonnet name from all over southern Rhone, including Gigondas, Vaquera, and Châteauneuf-du-Pape. And Gonnet is a well-respected winemaker. Some of his top wines have scored in the mid-90s by major wine critics. So while Kirkland wines are made specifically for Costco, he is a very legit Châteauneuf-du-Pape winemaker.
Okay.
The label also indicates the blend of this wine. It's 70% Grenache. So again, we should expect most of these wines are Grenache heavy, 10% Syrah, 10% Sanso, and 10% Mourvedre. So it is that classic GSM blend, but they added some Sanso. And like most Châteauneuf-du-Pape, these wines are high in alcohol.
Ooh.
So this one is 15%. I think they're both 15%.
Party.
Exactly. And again, 2024 vintage, so I opened this one ahead of time. And I do think these wines usually need, 5 to 10 years to age a little bit before they're really, really ready. But I can't tell you much more about this wine or how it's made or any of that fun stuff. So let's head over to the next wine.
Okay.
So the next wine we're going to drink is the 2023 Domaine du Vieux Lazaret Châteauneuf-du-Pape. And this is one of those wines that has a whole bunch of grapes in it. Now, I'm not sure if I
13?
Not 13, but close. I'm not sure I have the exact percentages. When I looked at the text sheet, this is what the text sheet said. It includes Sanso, Counois, Grenache, Mourvedre, Muscardine, Syrah, Terre Noire, and Vacarès. Another source online I found said that it's 67% Grenache, 22% Syrah, 5% Mourvedre, so there's your GSM, and then 6% total of everything else. So it might be that all those grapes are in there, but that like the long tail is in total adds up to 6%. But I'm not sure if that's totally the case, but it is a lot of grapes in this wine.
Right.
So it's, let me count. There's 8 grapes in this wine.
Oh, wow.
It's quite a few. The wine also got a 92 rating from Wine Spectator, a 92 from Wine Enthusiast, and you never will guess this, a 90 from Sucky James Suckling.
What?
I know.
I mean, again, consistency.
It's best.
We can definitely rely on him.
Totally reliable and sucky. Okay, the text sheet for this wine was a little rough. It had a little rough translation, but I did get this. The grapes are completely destemmed. They macerate by pumping over twice a day for 2 to 3 weeks in concrete vats. That's a lot. But then the wine is matured, like I probably should be, for 18 months in vats and barrels. It says 15%. So I'm assuming what they mean is like 15% of it is matured in oak barrels. In terms of all those grapes they use, this is what they say. Our plots are spread all around the village, which allows us to benefit of the advantages the Appalachian area can offer in terms of climatological varieties, terroir, and exposure. All 13 traditional allowed grape varieties are cultivated on our lands. So they do grow all 13 of them.
Wow.
This allows balanced wines all in finesse.
Nice.
Now, for a bit of history, the winery says the domain dates back to 1748. And in the 19th century, the Vieux family bought an old Lazaret, so that's in the name, which was a quarantine hospital for highly contagious diseases. That's what a lazaret was. And in the 1720 plague, about a third of the village died.
Oh, my goodness.
That was a fun fact that it was not really a fun fact. That was a fact.
No, not very fun at all.
I couldn't avoid throwing in there because it's fascinating. But Carmela, you know what? I think that's enough information. I think we should get to drinking these wines. What do you say?
I think so. I think Mabel thinks so.
I think Mabel's like, get on with it, folks. But if you have a Châteauneuf-du-Pape or any Rhone blend, or just, you know what, if you got a wine, just drink along with us and see if you agree with our tasting notes. And we will be right back. Okay, we're back and we're ready to try our first wine. This is the Costco Kirkland Signature Châteauneuf-du-Pape. It's from France, from Châteauneuf-du-Pape in the Rhone Valley. It's a 2024 vintage, $20.99 at Costco, obviously. 15% alcohol. As we mentioned, 70% Grenache, 10% Syrah, 10% Mourvedre, and 10% Sancerre. And the Costco Wine Blog gave it a 92, and the Reverse Wine Snob gave it a 6.8, but that's mostly because of cost. They're very cost conscious, so they'll rate lower when it's more expensive. But first of all, pretty bottle, right? I think the bottle's nice.
Pretty. But I just feel like, and I know that this is just like it's barking up the wrong tree. I wish Costco would drop the Kirkland label.
You don't like Kirkland?
No, I love it, but like I just don't think it should be on this beautiful bottle that's supposed to be like
fancy,
in competition with a more expensive bottle. I know they need it, but maybe even put it on the back.
Just on the back.
Yeah, because it's just like, I don't mind people knowing it's from Kirkland. Anyway, that's just my rant.
People out there, tell us what you think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but then it's like if you're trying to be a little fancier.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm curious what people think about that. I just think they could slap it on the back.
Slap it, baby.
That's right.
Okay, speaking of slapping, I don't know what that is. What do you think about the color?
It's pretty dark.
It's dark, it's inky, but it's not like totally opaque.
Yeah. In fact, like I always have a little less than yours. When I'm looking at yours looks super dark.
But it's like I can see through, like if I tilt the glass up, I can see through it. It's not opaque.
Yeah, but
it's pretty. It's a dark red, burgundy.
Like a syrup, like a blueberry syrup.
Oh, I like that.
Don't you think?
I like that. Yeah. Okay, let's smell it. And I will say this is what we call a lifted aroma because it's coming out of the glass.
Yeah, it's making me cough.
It's really nice smelling. It's kind of got dark cherry, maybe some plum. What do you think?
I agree with both of those. And I also think it's a little smoky.
Smoky, spice.
And spicy. A little bit of like black licorice on it too, do you think?
Yep. Almost maybe a little salty too. Maybe it's got a little salt, like a little olivey. Maybe a little
briny.
olive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you smell any of the garrigue? Do you smell any herbs?
Well, let me think. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's like a hint of earth,
That's what I would say. There's more
like
earth.
More than like, I'm not really getting a specific herb that I can come up with right now, but
maybe like a bramble, like a blackberry bramble or something like that. Like the dirt and the leaves and all that put together. Okay, well, let's it's got a I think it smells really nice.
Very nice, yeah.
Let's taste it and see what we think.
Okay.
It's a pretty big wine. It's hot. Like, I think it's young. We've had this wine open for almost an hour, and I'd say it's still hot and young.
Yeah.
Hot and young, baby.
Woo!
Yeah. But it's like stingy in the mouth. It's so young.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. You can taste the youth on it.
I think it needs time to mellow out. I'd probably open this. If you want to drink this wine now, I'd probably open it for a couple hours and aerate it because it's.
But you could hold on to this.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to drink it now.
Right. You would want to certainly, probably open it up quite a bit earlier. But I mean, I'm just trying to, it's a big wine. It's very full bodied.
I just think it's a little rough. It's rough right now. It's not smooth. It hasn't balanced out. It's almost got a little bit of nail polish. Almost. It's almost
astringent.
Astringent. Yeah. It's astringent.
Yeah.
Like I can taste some black cherry, I can taste some spice, I can taste some like black fruit, but I kind of can't get past the astringency of it.
It needs to be tamed a little bit.
Yeah.
Or something, kind of reined in.
I just think it's too young. Yeah. It's a nice wine. I just think it's too young.
Actually, it does smell beautifully. Like you're almost fooled by how it smells because the taste it's just a little bit. Yeah, it's hot.
It's hot. It's too. That's why I say, like, you can tell from the smell that it's got a lot of potential. I just think it's too young. This is a great example. I think that people often, I shouldn't, overgeneralize, but I do think that people drink wines like this too young, Barolo's too young, big wines too young, and it's a big mistake from my perspective. Anything else that you got? I mean, I will say one last thing is the tannins are super grippy.
Yes.
Like super grippy. So this wine just needs time to mellow out and balance out. Anything else you would say?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the food that we would pair.
Okay, what would you have?
Well, I think this needs food, especially right now. It needs food.
Yeah.
It's a red meat wine. It's also, I think, a chicken. I think you could have chicken.
Sure,
with
and
this.
pork. Like a pork tenderloin.
I actually think this would do okay. Maybe it'll mellow out and not be so not as much, but like spicy foods would do really well.
Right.
I could see like a American Chinese food would be really good with it. But a cheeseburger, awesome.
Yeah, I know. For whatever reason, this is stuck in my head now. But I could see doing like a pork tenderloin with like a hot mustard.
Yeah,
like one of those mustardy.
I'm with you.
I think that would be really good. It would kind of cut on both sides.
Yeah.
I think that. I don't know why. Maybe because we have a pork tenderloin sitting in our fridge right now.
Yeah, no, two. We got two.
I know.
It was a twofer.
It was a twofer.
It was a
guys.
BOGO. It was a BOGO.
Right. Now I got to make them though.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe we'll make them. Maybe Mabel can make them. Okay. And I would also say like good steak, frite, that kind of stuff. I think this is a kind of a meat and potatoes kind of wine. Okay. I think we rate it and this is going to be a tough one for me because I think I might have to rate it on potential rather than what it is today. But as a reminder on a rating scale, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10. We don't give half points. 7 and above means we'd buy it. 4 and below means we're going to pour it down the sink. And a 5 or 6 means we'd drink it and we'd finish it, but we're not going to buy it. Okay. So Carmela, this is a tough one. What rating are you going to give it?
Oh, I'm having a hard time too. I mean, part of me, I love a Costco Kirkland bottle. So part of me is like, I'll give it a 7, but I'm also thinking, and because of the price point too, but I could easily give it a 6 too.
Yeah. What do you think you're going to do?
I'm going to give it a 6. See how the other one is.
I penciled that in that you were going to give it a 6.
Really?
Yeah.
You're guessing my rating now?
Yeah, because honestly, and I agree with you, based on where it is today, it's a 6.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like I'm giving it a 7 based on its potential.
Love it.
I mean, maybe some of you out there would be like, oh my God, I love this wine. But I think a lot of you, if you drank this today, you might go, it's not that great. But I bet if you waited 5 years, you'd go, this is amazing.
So it might be a plan ahead wine. Like go and stock up or get a few bottles, whatever, and you can try them out in 5 years.
You know what? Be patient, people.
Right. Wine is about patience.
Yeah. It's like if your dog is peeing in the house.
Whoa.
Be patient.
Whoa.
Don't yell at the
No,
dog.
you shouldn't.
You got to be patient. It's on you to train that dog.
Yeah,
it's not the dog's fault.
No, right.
Okay. On that note, speaking of pee, I don't know what that is. We're going to take a break and then we're going to try our next wine.
Okay.
Okay, we're back and we're ready to try our second wine. This is the Domaine du Vieux Lazaret Châteauneuf-du-Pape wine. This is I don't know why I said wine, Châteauneuf-du-Pape. It's from France, again, Châteauneuf-du-Pape region in Rhône. This is a 2023 vintage, so a little bit older. It was $36.97 at wine.com. I know. But again, it's super hard to find these wines for under $35. 15% alcohol. And again, it's a mix of Sanso, Counois, Grenache, Mourvedre, Muscadine, Syrah, Terre Noir, and Vaccarès. And Wine Spectator gave it a 92. Wine Enthusiast, a 92. James Suckling, a 90. But Carmela, what is something that we noticed about this bottle right off the bat?
It's heavy. Really heavy.
Like these wine bottles, the Costco one was pretty thick. This one was really thick.
You can just see, they're just like a meaty bottle. Like look at the top. It's just.
I was surprised how heavy. I felt like I was lifting weights.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, let's talk about the color.
I think it's similar. I don't know. I don't think it's. I mean, maybe it's not quite as dark, I don't know.
No, I think it's almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem quite as maybe not quite as translucent as the Costco one, but it's about the same. It's this
pretty
kind of
similar, huh?
Yeah, dark red wine, almost on the verge of purple, but it's got definitely like burgundy hues.
Right. Definitely a red wine.
Yeah, for sure.
More red than purple, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's smell it and see what we think.
Well, my first whiff, I was like, "Ooh, this is tough." Like I was getting vegetable, tomato sauce, earth.
Super herby. Like this is an earthy, herby wine. Like I'm smelling rosemary. Yeah, like a lot of, like this is an herbal wine, but I'm with you. Also some astringency, like it's probably young as well. Not as much fruit, I don't think.
No, that's why, like, yeah, definitely when I smelled that, it was a little bit like, oof, like kind of taken aback. It was a little aggressive, but not on the fruit side of things. Still smoky.
Smoky, some spice.
It's calmed down, actually. I mean, I know you've had it open, but even when I first poured it in the glass, I was like, ooh, this is kind of aggressive.
And wood. I think, don't you think like cedar as well? Okay, I'm a little bit nervous about this wine. I think it's going to be also, again, kind of strong and not quite ready yet, but let's try it and see what we think.
Okay. Ooh, it's kind of tangy or something.
Yeah, it is. There's something in it that's like almost tart.
Yeah. I don't know. It's almost like really red cherry. Like not dark cherry, but like, it's just a very underripe cherry.
You know what I'm getting is strawberry. I'm getting a lot of strawberry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like sweet strawberry.
Huh.
Like a strawberry ice cream.
Ooh,
it's
that's
very
great,
sweet and tangy to me.
Yeah, it's tangy. I'm getting that. I don't even know, or or even just like raspberry or something. Because raspberries to me sometimes are a little tangier or a little sour.
Yeah,
this is a little sour.
Yeah, I mean it's like I was thinking, it should be dark fruits, but this is actually more like red fruits.
Yeah, and I'm not getting that same like earthy vegetable
in the mouth.
Not really.
I feel like I am getting that.
Really?
You said tomato.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm getting some tomato in the mouth.
Okay.
Yeah,
I definitely smelled that, but I don't know. I'm kind of it's so tart to me right now.
Well, taste it and see if you get a little cherry tomato. I feel like that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, maybe.
I totally am getting like, I'm telling you what I'm getting.
Okay.
Cherry tomato with salt and balsamic. I don't know why, but I'm getting like a really kind of that tartness.
Caprese salad.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and maybe even a little arugula because it's a little spicy too.
Okay. I love that. That's a great little picture in my brain. Like thinking about that. The taste profiles are kind of coming out now. And pepper, even like a little pepper.
Yes. Vinegary a little bit. Like, I kind of like it. It's kind of weird. I kind of like it.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, but I kind of am liking it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all those crazy grapes they just threw together and let's just try it.
I'm not understanding that, but yes. 8 grapes, right?
8 grapes is good enough. What food would you pair with this vino?
Well, I think pretty similar, menu. I think you could do things like a white chicken. You could do white, meat, chicken, pork. Because pork's the other white meat, right?
It totally is. And and spicy too, yeah?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, and like fried food, like even like, I don't know, something fried.
Fried chicken.
Like General Tso's chicken.
Ooh, might have to get that tonight.
Whoa. Joe loves General Tso's.
And a little chow mein.
That's
nom, nom.
That's whatever. That's always on Joe's mind on like Fridays.
Is. I'm sorry. It's always on my mind.
Always on his mind. Always on his mind all day long. No, but truly, and I'm like that. But he always is patient and will say, "So what do you want tonight? Like if we're going to order."
And this, I know all of you. This is something typical for couples. But I'll say, "What do you feel like?" And she's like, "I don't care anything." And they'll say, "How about this?" And she's like, I don't know. And then so finally it just comes out, fish tacos? Okay.
No, it doesn't. That's not at all what happens. I almost probably 8 times out of 10, I just let Joe choose.
You are very kind.
I'm always like, because I know what's in his brain.
But you're being kind. You're being kind.
Well, because I don't always, me, I actually don't know what I feel like.
She's
sometimes.
A pleaser, people. She's a pleaser.
Well, and sometimes I'm like, do I want the fish tacos? I always want something fish, and Joe's not a big fish eater. We've talked about this before. His mom used to make him an egg when everybody else had fish. So he's not big on fish. But I do like General Tso's chicken and chow mein.
So there you go.
Anyway, okay. So all right, back to the show.
Let's rate this wine. What are you going to rate this wine?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Oh, another one. I'm giving this one a 7 again. Okay. So you're not. You know what? Here's the deal. Again, remember, these are not totally our type of wine. Although I will say these were not quite. I mean, the first one, the Costco one, was a little bolder, like bigger, flabbier wine.
Yeah, and more fruit. I mean, not a ton, but.
But this one's different. Like, it's different than I expected. And again, what I would say is give it 5 years. I think you might have a different wine.
Right.
But I'm going to give it a 7. You're giving it a 6. Which of these two would you finish?
Oh, I think the Costco.
Really?
I think I would drink the Costco one.
I think I'd drink this one.
Okay, well, good. Look at us.
But I gave them both 7s, so I'm good with either.
Right. Well, I gave them both 6s, so I guess I'm good with either.
I guess so. Let's talk about the taste profiles expected from Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Okay. They're usually full-bodied, rich, and high in alcohol. This is true. Ripe, sweet red fruits like strawberry, raspberry, and cherry liqueur. Cherry liqueur is a good one.
I like that, yeah.
Dark plum and blackberry, so we were getting that. Wild scent of Mediterranean herbs, thyme, rosemary, lavender, and sage. I said rosemary.
You sure did.
And spices like black pepper and licorice, which you brought up. Savory notes when it's aged of leather, game, tar, roasted meats, and funk. I don't think these were old enough to kind of have those. They're still
funk.
on.
Of a little bit of meatiness on the second one.
I think so. I think you're right. The Costco Kirkland Signature, the winery says the bouquet reveals notes of violet, grenadine. That's good.
Oh.
Black currant, black olive, cassis, fresh thyme, and licorice. The mouthfeel is generous with black and red wild berries, plus fine, elegant tannins. The Costco wine blog said aromas of dried red and black fruit, herbs and leather, medium in body with rich tannins, good acidity, flavors of black cherry, raspberry, plum, notes of clove, spice, dry lingering finish. I like clove. I think clove is a good one. We missed that. The Domaine de Vieux, Lazaret, the winery said aromas of ripe black fruits evolving into spicy notes. We definitely got spicy. Its smoothness, I didn't think it was smooth, persistence and aromatic breadth are its defining features. With age, I think it does need age, it transforms, revealing aromas of spiced ripe fruits that develop into compote-like nuances, reminiscent of prunes, licorice, and hints of black pepper.
Okay.
And then the Wine Spectator says high tone notes of cherry and anise, so you're getting that licorice, are silky and fluid in this modern Châteauneuf. There are no rough edges. I mean, it's young. I think it had some rough edges and it would mellow out.
Right.
Polished tannins. I do think it had good tannins. Glide through, supporting rubiose tea and sandalwood smoke elements. So, we did okay.
I think so.
Okay, I think Châteauneuf-du-Pape, we've talked about it before. What's your verdict on the Costco version?
Well, I feel like, I haven't had enough Châteauneuf-du-Pape, really, but I feel like today it stood up to this other bottle for sure. Like, I'm going to be drinking the Kirkland one tonight. So I think that it is, I think it's a good idea. If people wanted to try this, go for it. Like, this would be, I would recommend.
I agree. And I think, again, Châteauneuf-du-Pape can be very expensive or on the more expensive end of wines.
Right.
And so if you are kind of curious about it, maybe you haven't tried it before, or you just want to buy some bottles and put them in your wine closet, but you don't want to, you kind of want to sit on them. This is a great deal. It's great. And I do think, again, we rated it. Carmela gave it a 6. I gave it a 7, but I think I gave it a 7 on the promise. Right. I think in 5 or 10 years, it's going to be great.
Right. And I think I'm just thinking to myself, they're just maybe a 6 to me right now with these, or it's an average bottle. It's not going to knock your socks off today.
Yeah.
Yes. My thoughts.
I like your thoughts.
Oh, thanks.
I always like your thoughts.
No, you don't.
Okay, now it's time to head over to our news desk so that we can cover our wine in the news this week. Wine in the news this week. Our wine in the news this week comes via the Vinography blog. I like that name. Written by Alder Yarrow, which also is a great name. And the story he flagged in his weekly roundup was originally reported by Jess Lander at the San Francisco Chronicle, but that's behind a paywall, so we're going to focus on the blog. And the article is entitled, California's Next Big Wine Craze is Breaking All the Rules. Intrigued?
Totes.
Okay, so you can get links to some of these articles in our show notes, but here's the story. There's apparently a new wine trend sweeping California, and it's called blouge wine.
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding. The word is a mashup of French words for white or blanc and rouge for red.
Got it.
Blouge. And it's probably what you think it is.
Okay.
So blouge wines are made by fermenting red and white grapes together.
What are we thinking about this?
What are we thinking? That's what we're going to talk
Isn't
about.
that just rosé?
No. Oh, Carmela, you know better than that.
Of course I do. I wanted to get a reaction.
Yeah, don't be fooled, people. That's not what rosé is.
No.
We've got lots of episodes on that if you want to know more. But anyway, It may sound strange, but like many things that sound new and strange, it's actually very old school. With Northern Rhone wines, for instance, winemakers have put a little bit of Viognier into Syrah for centuries.
Okay.
To give it a little more aroma. And Portuguese winemakers have a traditional style called palete, I don't know if I'm saying that right, that dates back all the way to the 12th century, in which they co-ferment red and white wine grapes together. So it's not new. So while this is an old way of making wine, what's new about it is the name, blouge, which is kind of dumb, and the volume of white grapes involved, and that these wines are being specifically created as wines meant to be lighter than a pure red wine and intended to be chilled.
Got it.
Which we like.
Right.
So a lecturer at Cornell named Cheryl Stanley, I would like to be a wine lecturer at Cornell, by the way. She described it as the white Zinfandel of today, but without the residual sugar. So depending on where you are, that's either a compliment or it's a horrible comparison. Right. Now, the rise of blouge is being driven by two very different forces. On one hand, it's a response to climate change. Oh. Red grapes are ripening too fast in the warming climate and coming in with too much sugar and not enough acidity. So mixing them with white grapes that are picked a little bit earlier brings back some of that balance. And then on the other hand, it's kind of a marketing thing.
Right.
It's meant to appeal to younger drinkers.
I knew it.
Yeah, looking for lighter.
I love it.
Yeah.
In some ways, I don't love it, but I'm like, of course, they've got to come up. They have to have something of their own.
Yeah, and the things like, remember we went a few months ago, we were in San Francisco, we went to a wine bar with our daughter, and what do we have? Chilled red wines.
Right.
That's what the kids are drinking today.
And you know what? Let them do their thing.
Yeah. One of the articles...
Blouge. It's kind of dumb. But that's okay.
It's okay. One of the articles states that the wine is something you don't take seriously and has some good time kind of vibes.
Okay.
I get it.
And I think that's okay. Like we always say, you don't have to take wine so seriously.
Yeah. And by the way, we do like chillable red wines, but we also like wines that are a mix of red and white, like champagne and a lot of sparkling wines.
Right.
So don't think it's all crazy, peeps.
No, right.
If you have a champagne, guess what? It's got Pinot Noir and Chardonnay in it. So stop freaking out.
Right.
Okay.
Stop freaking.
I do think blouge kind of strikes me as in the same vein as orange wine. So remember, orange wine is just white wine that's left on the skins for too long.
Right.
But it's actually kind of a very ancient winemaking technique, but it's sold today as something new. And blouge wine feels kind of similar. We're taking a winemaking technique that's basically as old as winemaking itself and trying to claim it that it's like something new. So the cool kids can feel hip.
Well, sure.
But now we can feel like we're one of the cool kids. Now, how easily you can find these wines is another question. They are, unsurprisingly, still mostly a natural wine bar and indie bottle shop kind of thing in the U.S., like orange wine. So if you're the kind of person who likes to walk into a small wine shop and ask the owner what's weird and interesting right now, this could be your moment.
Sure.
There you go. So, Carmela, what do you think? What do you think of the whole blouge wine movement?
I mean, I'm like kind of indifferent. I'm like,
Would you try it? Would you try?
Sure. I'm up for anything. And I'm not going to be judging anybody for whatever they choose to do or call something. And you know what?
It's not our job.
No.
It's not our job to yuck your yum.
Never.
If you've tried it, let us know, though, because we're kind of curious about it.
Right.
Okay, now, as we mentioned, it's been a while since we recorded an episode, so we need to get to some long overdue shout-outs. So here are some. Ashley sent us an email. She said she's starting to do the 2020 rule, which is,
cool.
You put your red wines in and all kind of stuff. But she's also been decanting, and she asked if it's proper to decant in the fridge or do the cooler temperatures affect the aeration? And what the answer is, it's fine to aerate and then put in the fridge. That's totally fine. Jeff sent us a note. He discovered Gigondas 8 years ago on a French bike tour. That's kind of cool. Emma on Instagram passed her sommelier exam. She sent us a note to let us know about that. I know, it's kind of a big deal.
Awesome.
Chef Paul sent us a note about a Wisconsin summer salad with La Crescent wine, which is kind of cool. I know. Thanks, Chef Paul. Hassini read our newsletter, and she really liked it because the main article was about wine and health.
Oh,
and she was like, she really liked it. She said it's something, wine and health is something that she thinks about a lot. And I think you'd agree with this. I know I do. It's like as we get a little bit older, as long as we hydrate well and maybe don't drink so heavily, we're going to be in much better shape.
Right.
Day.
I mean, again, wine is meant to be enjoyed with food. and in moderation.
I'm totally with you. She also liked our picture of Mabel. Justin sent us a note that he's excited for the Schiava episode, and he gave us some ideas for other whites that we should try, so I like that. Adam loved the interview with Angelos that we did a few weeks ago. He was jealous that we got to speak to him, and he wished us a happy National Wine Day.
Oh, cool.
I didn't even know that was it. And Howie left a comment on the website. He said he was looking for a similar taste to Frescobaldi Pomino Rosso, so I gave him some wines that maybe would be similar.
Nice.
Wines coming up in future episodes in case you want to drink along with us. We're going to do a Gamay episode, Decoy Wines, Aglianico Rosé, Schiava, Loire, Cremant, some British bubbly. But with that, Carmela, we're going to say thank you. Thank you for listening to us and supporting our show. And remember, we buy all our own wine, and we do all the writing and recording and editing to bring you a show every week because we love doing it. And our small little ask for you is that you please follow or subscribe to our podcast. And also, please leave us a nice rating and review to help us grow listeners. And a huge thank you to all of you who have already done that. You can follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky and TikTok at The Wine Pair Podcast. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. Sign up for our email newsletter. And you can also visit our shop wine section on our website where you can find links to buy the wines that we rate as buys. And again, you can always send us a note at Joe at the Wine Pair Podcast or DM us. Tell us about wines you want us to try or wines that you're curious about or just things that you're drinking, and we will always respond to you. But with that, we're going to sign off. So thank you once again. We'll see you next time. As we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And the happy ending.